Remember 2005, first time airing ng Wawawi ni Kuya Will, Darna ni Angel Locsin and the first season ng PBB. And for me, parang dito nagsimula yung Korean invasion ng telenovela kasi we have the classic Stairway to Heaven and Full House.
Ay, naku, akala mo ba ganun lang yung kasimple?
Lola, may hinanda po akong sorpresa para sa inyo. Naghanda po ako ng isang kanta. May tatlong bear sa loob ng isang bahay. Si Papa Bear, si Mama Bear, si Baby Bear. Si Papa Bear ay malakas. Si Mama Bear ay maganda. Si Baby Bear ay napakaliksi. Tingnan nyo ang saya nila.
And also the very classic and nostalgic Hello Garci and I Am Sorry ni Gloria Arroyo na that time naalala ko pa noon kahit wala akong pakialam noon sa politics. Medyo nagkaroon ako ng stigma sa mga politiko noon na most of them are corrupt, which is still hold true unfortunately till now. And speaking of corrupt politician, we will talk about another corrupt politician and an actor and one of his movies. Exodus, Tales from Enchanted Kingdom starring Bong Revilla. And of course, we will talk about the elephant in the room already. Bakit nga ba may Tales from Enchanted Kingdom yung title ng movie na to? And of course, thanks for the powers of reading, I found out na Enchanted Kingdom co-produced this movie. That's why besides having their brand in the title of the movie, it also starts with a narration galing sa mascot ng Enchanted Kingdom. And after that short intro and PSA from the mascot of Enchanted Kingdom, we would be introduced to Exodus, played by Bong Revilla, a hard mercenary with obviously very vague backstory for story purposes of the movie kasi di pa natin pwede malaman yung secret identity niya. To be honest, you could already tell what this plot twist is sa character niya within 15 minutes into the movie. And he has this opening scene speech na hinahype niya yung mga tao, which reminded me of the same scene sa movie na Independence Day. Yung scene na nagbibigay din ng speech yung president on that movie, it has the same vibe to it, which is for me it's kinda hype. Also, we will be introduced to this fictional fantasy set na yung mga tao or humans are on a brink of extinction and yung mga tao na lumalaban sa kampo ng kasamaan is the last humans. And we will have this obligatory fight scene na papakita gaano kagaling and katapang yung main character natin, which is Exodus. And dito din natin makikilala si Haring Bulbul. Haring Bagulbul pala, which is played by JR, which is I kinda didn't expect about this casting kasi naalala ko, napanood ko lang tong movie na to sa TV nung bata pa ako, yung tuwing linggo sa GMA, SNBO ba yun?
Join the action in SNBO's Hero together with San Miguel Beer, samahang walang katulad.
And I don't really remember na si JR yung main villain sa movie na to. Siguro kasi most of his screen time nakamas din siya, which I think also added ng pagiging forgettable niya from this movie. And speaking of unexpected casting, Paolo Bejones as Haring Babaylan, ang huling hari ng mga tao or humans on this movie, which also surprised me as well kasi di ko din in-expect or I didn't really remember him being on this movie and him playing as Haring Babaylan or the second most important character on this movie after Exodus. And to add, wala akong maalala na movies or palabas na nag-acting siya beside this movie, of course. Most of the time naalala ko lang siya as a host like sa S-Files noon, tas Survivor Philippines, and then lumipat siya ng TV5 for other hosting gigs. So seeing him acting on this movie is really weird and unexpected for me. And fun fact, while doing this video, I found out na pamangkin pala siya ni Marcos Jr., our current president, another Nepo artist on her list, I guess.
I love you, BBM! Ayaw ko yung lasa na sito na kulay green. Ayos na naman yung lasa na kulay dilaw. Nung tinig man ko yung color green, yuck ko na ulitin. Bili ako sa the best, alam ko na yung sasabihin.
And beside being a pamangkin of the most important person in the Philippines right now, he's also the second most important character on this movie kasi he's the exposition character sa movie na to. Kasi 15 minutes into the movie, he would actually provide the whole plot of the movie already, which I actually kinda like, to be honest, kasi he will provide na kailangan ni Exodus na hulihin yung mga natitirang Encanto slash elemental Pokemons para talunin si Haring Bagulbol, and we would have this Pokemon-esque subplot which Exodus would catch 4 legendary elemental Pokemons or Encanto using chains, which is kinda sus for me.
300 black men for only £2. Yes, sir.
And here comes the I don't understand why they did this part of this movie. Kasi during the Pokemon quest ni Exodus, and mind you, I have a blurry memory for this movie kasi as I mentioned, napanood ko lang to sa TV noon.
You guys think that the iPhone's the latest technology? The iPhone was out in the 90s and the 80s. We got crazier shit now. I'm telling
So while watching this part for the first time for this video, akala ko talaga di nagsasalita yung mga Encanto, or maybe they're using different language kaya di sila kinakausap ni Exodus, and maybe that's why they all just like grunting and screaming at each other. And mind you, this is for like 15 minutes of the movie, and we just have like Haring Babaylan giving us backstory about the Encantos. Walang dialogue from any of them for like 15 minutes, not until nung nahuli na ni Exodus yung last Encanto, which is Iya Villana, and I was like, wow, nakakapagsalita pala sila, then why the fuck not give them the dialogue instead of someone like narrating it to the viewers? And para sa akin, mas okay sana yung mga Encanto yung nagbibigay or nagkukwento ng backstory nila, kasi sobrang interesting ng mga Encanto character dito sa movie na to, and maybe they could like expand their lore instead of them acting like idiots for like 15 minutes and have someone narrate it over to the viewers. And for me, it's really a big mistake from the directors or writers ng movie na to na di bigyan ng dialogue yung mga Encanto during this part of the movie, kasi for me this is the peak of this movie. After this, it's all downhill already, which is sad and disappointing kasi they have a main character, Exodus, which is for me is actually intriguing and interesting character for the first like 30 to 40 minutes of this movie. His character development is actually good, even though it's easy na to predict siya yung huling Encanto na makakatalo kay Haring Bagulbol, and yung costume and acting ni Bong Revilla as Exodus is actually good on this movie. The set world building sa movie na to is really good. Yung base ni Haring Bagulbol is like from Lord of the Rings. Haring Babaylan is like God Emperor, the exposition machine 3000s, and legit he's the savior of this movie. Haring Bagulbol is, yeah, he's kinda mid as a villain. He's just here to be a villain on the movie. No other motivation beside obosin ng mga tao. But I like his costume, lalo na yung mga mask niya. And yung base ng mga human has this like Final Fantasy feel to it. As I mentioned, yung mga Encanto is really interesting character on this movie. So for me, personal opinion, they have a really good character and story for this film. I think they kind of fumble it kasi after the first act or 30 to 40 minutes of this movie, it's all downhill afterwards. Legit, pwede mo nang hindi panoorin yung remaining 1 hour of this movie. Still know na mananalo si Exodus with the help of the Encantos, and his special plot twist na si Exodus yung natitirang babaylan. That's the whole remaining 1 hour of this movie. Yung mga Encanto won't really have anything to do besides sundan si Exodus. Yes, may scene dito si Obremals na kakalabanin niya yung parang dinosaur na ibon, but that's it. Next na makikita nyo lumaban or gamitin ng mga Encanto yung powers nila is like at the end of this movie, which is really disappointing kasi hinipe nila yung mga Encanto for like half of this movie, and as the last of their kind, and they have these special powers na related sa nature. And personally, I really like the introduction of them, pero it seems they just got like shoved at the side to give Exodus his surprise no one can tell plot twist na he's the last babaylan and he's the real last king of the humans, and he's the chosen one na will defeat Haring Bulbul at the final act. And then na-realize siguro ng mga writers na they still have the Encantos as characters, and they decided to give them a last fight, which is 1v1 against the also half-baked character generals of Haring Bagulbol. And dito natin makikita na may fight mode pala yung character ni Iya. Nag-iiba ng kulay yung damit niya when fighting, and this is also the first and last time na makikita natin yung powers ng character ni Iya, which is such a waste of a good character including the other Encantos. And here comes the most super disappointing part of the movie is the ending fight scene. Kasi may hype moments yung mga Encanto dito na they walking towards Exodus. It's really like a hype moment for me. And akala ko may extra scene pa yung mga Encanto para ma-showcase yung mga powers nila. Kasi legit yung 1v1 scene nila against sa mga general ni Haring Bulbul is parang bitin for me. So akala ko talaga meron pa silang hype moments with Exodus, maybe using their powers with Exodus while helping him. And color me surprised nung naging brilyante yung mga Encanto and sumapi sila kay Exodus. The peak of disappointment of this movie. Habang pinapanood ko yung part na to, napa-facepalm talaga ako. Akala ko meron pang magiging ibang part yung mga Encanto, like tulungan nila si Exodus using their power, which yes, they did nung sumapi sila kay Exodus, pero I didn't expect this half-ass animation turning them into like Encantadia like Brillantes. But maybe it's me expecting too much on this movie. So after defeating Haring Bulbul, his minions will disappear and we will have this legit headbanger song. Pero this movie, I think it's destined to end on a bad note kasi yung credit song is like out of the place. Like, what the fuck, you have this banger song before, why not use it instead of the weird song? So all in all, I consider this movie a good watch. If you can, what you call it, separate the art from the artist, go ahead, give this a movie a watch. But if not, there's other much more good superhero slash fantasy Pinoy film na di pinagbibidahan ng isang politiko. And I think that's all for me. Magsasayang pa ako. Thanks. See ya.